6 months till the 9th anniversary on Global. But are there any banners worth your stones? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at all of the banners that should be coming up to Global Dokkan that we know about and determining what, if anything, is worth the stones that you could be pocketing for the 9th anniversary. After all, we know based on our previous count video that there are about 1,500 stones to be collected between now and the 9th anniversary in July, plus or minus a few. So the question is, do you pocket those 1,500, or is there anything here worth your stones? So let's go ahead, let's hop in, and let's begin taking a look at the first of the next banners to be coming to Global Dokkan, right? Because the thing we need to understand is anything that comes up, stones spent on it, good or bad, is stones taken away from the LR Broly banner and the LR Gogeta banner. Now remember, the 9th anniversary is a Dokkan Fest Carnival format, which means we don't even know what the part 2 is, but part 1 alone should be enough to kind of steer our conversation. So the first banner up on Global is the LR reivew banner. This banner will return the pity coins. We know from the data download that there is a new pity coin that we can use to pick up this card. Now they are good. They do really help out quite a few teams. They're a bit wonky, but on a team like Power of Wishes, they can be extremely powerful and extremely helpful with all the orb changing that they're doing. This banner also returns LR Bulma, which means that she can either be summoned or bought with yellow coins. Although I think she has now officially returned in the yellow coin shop, so there is that. Now, whether or not you should summon on this banner is the thing about this, more so than any other banner. They have really increased the value of these banners by adding guaranteed featured steps. So basically the way it works is every 3 multis you get a guaranteed featured unit. Doesn't mean it's going to be an LR, but it'll be someone on this banner, right? It could be this reivew, it could be Dispo, but every 3 multis for, I think, 7 rounds, you get a featured unit at the end. So, honestly, I mean, this one I will definitely do a full should you summon, but I don't think you should be throwing any stones at it at this point, right? reivew will be on any yellow coin banner in the future, any carnival banner. She can be pulled unfeatured, and we still don't know if there's any LR guarantees on the anniversary, maybe in part 2 or 3. If there is, there's a good chance there'll be a chance to pick her up then. So I don't think going out of your way to get her now is probably the best thing you should do. So no stones spent here. Following that, when we look at the next banner on Global, so barring no shenanigans, I know there's some talk about moving certain, like a new Super Dokkan Fest in the slot, but in the beginning of March we should see Gohan and Piccolo. I think we might see something else like the Tanabata LR, but we'll get to that towards the end, right? The specific order of things isn't too big of a deal. So Gohan and Piccolo, great unit. This banner will return Bardock, Turles, Yamcha, Ginyu, and Raditz. So this is a full 200% lead banner. It's actually really, really good. Their banner units really, really good. Gohan and Piccolo themselves are really, really good. Any unit that can provide and another revive to a team or to more teams, right? Because Bottom Master and Disciple, for example, I think besides the Int Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Vegeta does not have a revive character. Oh, well, that's not true. They have Gohan and Trunks, so I mean there is that, but giving one other more viable card to be able to do that revive is always helpful. So nice that they have this, but again, it's a Dokkan Fest. They're not really that hype unless you're really, really after them. So again, another banner that I think we should probably skip out on. Maybe save until they return. We'll go back on when I believe they'll be returning here shortly. Following this banner, we will get the Saiyan Day banner. Now, obviously, we don't have a... well, actually, we can just go ahead and pull this up here. Let's go campaigns. Let's go global. And let's go 7 year, and here we go, Saiyan Day. It's not too big of a deal, right? Because the banner format's basically the same no matter what year it is. So this year we'll have whoever the new Saiyan Day unit is. We'll have God Goku, and then Super Saiyan Full Power Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Goku here, right? Those are going to be the main draws. If the Saiyan Day unit is anything like the previous God Goku unit, then this one is a definite must summon. However, it should be limited, right? Because chances are this guy will return, if not by Halloween, then by November, as has every other Saiyan Day unit prior to him, right? We saw this with God Goku. Not quite on Halloween, which was the expected return, although that is when he returned on JP. He did return by the end of November on a special banner on Global. And now that we know that the sync is coming, there's a good chance that whatever the Halloween, the October 31st into November Dokkan Fest is, will feature whatever the Saiyan Day unit is for this year. So knowing that, you know, with anniversary on the horizon and worldwide following that, I would honestly say probably no more than the 200 to 250 stones on this banner, if you have the stones to spare. And the reason I say that is because 200 to 250 stones is usually a good measure on whether or not you're actually going to get something from the banner, right? On a standard Dokkan Fest banner, 250 stones is basically saying, like, hey, if you get a featured unit within this amount, you've made out pretty good. If you did that 250 stones and you got nothing, that's an indicator that it's time to back off of this banner. And knowing what's on the horizon, I would definitely say that that's probably the best bet. The main focus of this banner should be trying to coin Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku, as it'll probably be his only return until Tanabata on both Global and JP after this. So I would say it's definitely worth it to maybe do about 250 stones. So remember, if you started our previous video at 0 and had been saving since then, you know that you have 1,500 coming to you by the start of the anniversary. Now, if you include the 1,000 or so stones you'll get during anniversary, by the end of anniversary, you're talking 2,500 stones. So you might be able to afford a couple multis here, but I wouldn't go overboard, right? So this is the Saiyan Day banner. Following that, on Global Dokkan, we will get the confirmed April Dual Dokkan Fest for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Hirudegarn. Now, the thing about these guys, it's the unfortunate thing about having TURs release right before the anniversary on JP. These guys are stellar. These guys are phenomenal. They reigned supreme the moment they released, right? STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku is extremely good. He has an argument for, you know, the top 5 TURs. Hirudegarn as well, once his team begins to fill out some more. The banners are also pretty stacked, right? You have Ultimate Gohan, you have Ma Junior. On the other one, you have 23Ku, you have the Piccolo, Orange Piccolo. Like, this is a pretty good banner. However, again, these guys get immediately washed out by the anniversary. Those banners are just so amazing, and the characters on them, the Gogeta and the Broly, are just phenomenal when we compare the two. So honestly, if I were to say there were a summon in this, these banners will have discounts on Global. They will have tickets during April. So like they'll be to like the super multi discounts. So you'll get discounts, and then every multi you'll get 3 tickets. So after 4 paid multis, you'll be able to do a ticket multi. So knowing that, what I would say is the best bet with these, I would honestly say, unless you absolutely needed Ma Junior, in which case I would definitely say coin him, but I would skip out on Super Saiyan 3 Goku's banner and maybe try no more than 2 rotations on Hirudegarn's banner, and that is only because Hirudegarn himself is a great asset to the LR Broly's team. Now, of course, you could always just wait. They will return on the worldwide banner, so, there is that to concern. But if there were to be a banner you would summon on, I would say do no more than 2 rotations. So with the first discounts, which they will probably have on that banner, right? With the discounts, so 110 stones more than likely for the first one, and then 150 for the second one. That's 200, 260 stones, realistically, that you would be doing there. I wouldn't say do any more than that. Honestly, it's a real toss-up here. If you're going to summon on this banner, do no more than that. 2 rotations, that's it, and then leave it. Otherwise, I wouldn't summon at all here, knowing that these guys will be back on worldwide post anniversary. That'll be the better place to pick these guys up. It's just an unfortunate timing of their release, and just the way it is naturally with these New Year's units. It happens every time we get the TURs for the New Year's. They just get completely outshined by the anniversary LRs, and for good reason, right? The thing their campaign brings, which I do feel has more value than the units themselves, is their campaign brings these banners here, the type support banners. Now, I don't think anybody should go all out summoning on these, but there are some special mentions that maybe you could probably do a multi or 2 on them, since they are discounted at 30 stones, and some of them are quite good, right? The standouts are the STR Kaba and the STR Kaba, the Texel, and the Rildo and the Pan. So if you were to summon on any of these banners, again, you get 30 stones, and I'm not sure if it's guaranteed featured. I don't think it is, but if it is, all the more reason, right? The Pan post EZA, she's easily one of the best EZA TUR, simply for the support she's providing. Same with Rildo for the extreme teams, supporting those extreme AGLs. Tech cells really, really good, and then STR Kaba really, really good on Universal Survival Saga and other tournament participants teams. So I would definitely say, if you were going to do maybe a multi or 2 on this, since it's only 30 stones, on whichever one you need the most. Otherwise, I would focus on using your blue coins to coin one of those ones that I mentioned. The banners also have featured types units, right? So like the STR banner has all these guys. If we flip over to the Int banner, same thing. And then they have unfeatured LRs, right? Up to whatever the most recent of that type is. So like for Int, it's all the way up to Triku. On STR, I think it goes all the way up to Bulma as the LR. On the Tech one, I think it goes all the way up to Ribrianne, right? So if you skipped out on Ribrianne, there's a shot here. And then on the AGL, I think Super Boo. I was going to say it's Golden Frieza, but no, Super Boo is the most recent LR on here. So, it's not the worst thing in the world to do maybe a multi or 2 here. So again, you also have to balance that in areas where you may have summoned before, right? If you decided to go for, 2 rounds on Hirudegarn, then maybe avoid these banners, right? As you can live without the supports, even as good as Pan and Rildo are as the supports. I would definitely maybe steer clear if you went in on Hirudegarn. But if you decided not to go on Hirudegarn, because these banners are so limited and likely to never return for another 2 years, then maybe it's okay to do a multi or 2 here to try to pick up these type supports, since they won't be back for quite some time. Following that, we will have the Golden Week campaign. Last year, this was the Aim for the Top campaign, in which we got the Dual Dokkan Fest for the Piccolo Jr. and the World Tournament Goku. Now, these banners are probably going to be pretty good this year. You may want to save some stones for those, but again, they'll also be back during worldwide celebrations, so it might be worth it to just hold off and summon when they return on the worldwide banners, on this case, even though they might be pretty darn good, right? Piccolo Jr., easily one of the best TURs in the game upon release, all the way up until now, to be completely honest. He is still up there in the argument for top TUR. Same with World Tournament Goku, so I would definitely say that it would be worth it. I would say pick one and one only, and do no more than, same as the Hirudegarn one, no more than 2 rotations. There won't be tickets on this one, so you would probably get 3+1. So I would say do no more than 300 stones. And again, all of this, like before, is contingent on what you summon on prior, because you realistically, I would say, trying to enter the anniversary with at least 1,000 stones. So again, if you start at the beginning of this year when we did our first video with nothing, by the start of the anniversary you should have 1,500 stones if you don't summon at all. So if the goal is to enter the anniversary with about 1,000 stones, then it couldn't hurt to do a rotation or two here. I wouldn't go deep. Again, these 2 units, the Gogeta and Broly, more so than any anniversary we've had before, except, well, actually, I think maybe the 7th year also kind of equates. These 2 units gap the rest of the game, so I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find another unit released this year that will end up coming close to them, I feel. So just know that that's there. Following them, we will get whatever the post-anniversary Dokkan Fest is for June. That is almost always the case. Last year it was the 17 and 17, which returned the Dokkan Festival Pan. So since there's 2 possibilities of return here, this will either be the Super Trunks or Android 21 for Global returning on this banner here. So we'll have to see on how Global plays it out, but either way, this banner is going to be a big old fat skip no matter what returns here, because this is the banner right before the anniversary, and you should be saving. It's possible they could do something else, but more than likely, this is what's going to be. Now, there is one possible consideration you need to have for all of this. Somewhere in here, there is likely to be the Tanabata celebration, since that is normally in July for JP, and on Global, we usually get that LR in November. Now, knowing that the sync is happening in late August into September, there's a good chance the Tanabata celebration could be dropping in one of 2 slots. Either the pre-Saiyan Day slot, which was Gohan here's slot. Where was he? Oh, we moved him back here. Let's go back one. Here he is. This was Gohan and Piccolo's slot, or he's going to go in this slot here right before June. I think this is the less likely option because, again, this is right before the anniversary. But know that there is probably going to be a Dokkan Fest LR somewhere in all of this, so you may want to keep that in the back of your mind for which banner you end up wanting to summon on. But that is purely speculation. That is one of the biggest unknowns we as Global here are going to have right now. So in all honesty, as we look at everything laid out for us here leading into the anniversary Broly and Gogeta, the best, most valuable places that are gonna be for your stones are probably Hirudegarn's banner, is simply because Hirudegarn as a boss, as a villain, is gonna be far more value than a lot of other units, especially with the introduction of Broly. And then the Saiyan Day banner, or the possible Tanabata LR. We don't know what that could be. It's possible it happens before anniversary. So those would probably be the 3 biggest places to utilize your stones outside of the anniversary. And even then, I don't recommend you going too deep for any of them. No more than 300 stones. You want to be entering this anniversary strong. Take it from a guy who went 1,000 stones on Broly in his summons and didn't get them. At this point, I'm up to 1,500, over 1,500 on Broly, and I still don't have them. So Entering the anniversary with as many stones as possible is always a good thing, so you want to be careful where you spend these stones and on what banners, right? This video, we wanted to make sure we overviewed every known banner so you can make an informed decision as we go through the rest of this year leading into the 9th anniversary. So anyways guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what are the banners that interest you the most between now and the 9th anniversary? How do you plan on spending your stones? Are you planning on skipping and pocketing everything? I'm not a big fan of telling everybody to skip. If there's something here that you like, that you're interested in, I want to hear what is it, and I can give you the best recommendation I can to make sure you enter the anniversary well prepared. So anyways guys, that's it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.